This is part two of monopolistic competition. In the last lecture, I explained to you how a monopolistically competitive firm make their pricing and output decision. And what we concluded was that this firm ends up producing at a level where MC cuts the MR and the price is read from the demand curve. Okay, so in this particular scenario, you can see that the firm is making positive economic profits in the short run. अब अगर मैं आपसे सवाल करूं कि are these profits sustainable in the long run or not, your answer should be that no, these profits cannot be sustained in the long run. The reason being कि अगर short run में कोई firm profit कमा रही है, this is going to attract new firms to enter. Remember, one of the characteristics of monopolistically competitive market is that there is a free entry and exit. So, agar existing firms are making positive economic profits, if I am selling my organic shampoo and I'm making these profits out of it, this is going to attract new firms to enter. So, जब नई firms enter होंगी, तो what will happen to my market demand? Some of my customers are going to move to these new firms. ठीक है, so मेरा जो market demand curve है ना, it's going to shift inwards, and it's also going to become more elastic. It's also going to become more flatter. इसलिए वो flatter होगा because I told you that if the number of substitutes increases, the demand curve becomes flatter. तो दो चीजें यहाँ होंगी in the long run कि when existing firms are making positive economic profits, new firms are going to enter, जिसकी वजह से my demand curve is going to shift inwards. It's also going to become more flatter or elastic, and the process continues until my profits are driven down to zero. So this is also systematically written in your next handout. So monopolistically competitive firm in the short run, it can make positive economic profits. So short-run economic profits is going to encourage new firms to enter the market. So as a result, this increases the number of products offered. ठीक है, competition increase होगा market में. It reduces the demand faced by firms already in the market. So जो already firms है market में, उनका demand curve जो है ना, या उनकी demand में कमी आएगी, which means that the incumbent firms demand curve shifts to the left. Incumbent firms से मुराद है existing firms. Incumbent firm का demand curve अंदर की तरफ shift होगा. So demand for incumbent firm products fall and their profits decline, and the profits are going to decline to a level where the profits are driven down to zero. So demand curve of the incumbent firm also becomes more elastic. तो दो चीजें यहाँ होंगी. अगर जब new firms enter होंगी, तो आपका demand curve अंदर की तरफ shift होगा, and it's going to become flatter, and the process continues until your profits are driven down to zero. Now consider the other scenario where the firm is making loss in the short run. यहाँ मैंने assume किया था कि these losses are still less than the fixed cost. ठीक है, अगर आप शट डाउन कर जाएं तो आपको you have to, in that case you will have to bear the entire fixed cost. यहाँ हम assume कर रहे हैं कि your losses is at least less than the fixed cost. अगर fixed cost $100 है तो आपका loss $90 है, let's suppose. So it's still profitable for you to keep on operating in this market. Acha. Now, if the firm is earning losses in the short run, my question is, are these profits sustainable in the long run or not? And the answer is again no. The reason is that देखिए एक दो साल तो लॉस बर्दाश्त कर लेंगे, लेकिन अगर ये सिचुएशन हर साल persist करेगी, then it doesn't make sense for you to keep on operating. So in the long run, it will be best for you to exit from this market. So in short, if existing firms are making losses in the short run, what will happen is that short-run economic profits will encourage some firms to exit the market. ठीक है, जो weaker firms है ना, वो exit कर जाएंगी market से. So this decreases the number of products offered. So अगर पहले 100 shampoos, different brands of shampoos were in the market, because of some firms exiting the market, the number of brands are going to get reduced. So this increases the demand faced by the remaining firms. Okay? So some of the customers of the firms which are exiting, they might now start consuming your product, तो आपका जो demand curve है, आपके जो shampoo का demand curve है, that is going to increase. So it shifts the remaining firm's demand curve to the right. So this is going to increase the remaining firm's profit, and this process is going to continue until the profits are driven down to zero. And then there is also another thing which is going to happen simultaneously, which is that the demand curve of incumbent firms becomes less elastic or inelastic. The reason for this is that since the number of or the competition is now reducing, the number of firms is now less. That is why the demand curve is going to become inelastic. तो इसको अगर आप visualize करें तो something like this is going to happen कि ये जो demand curve आप देख रहे हैं ना, this is going to shift rightwards and it's going to become more inelastic, and the process is going to continue until the firm start to make zero economic profit. So जो दोनों मैंने आपको scenarios दिखाए ना, जहाँ firm positive profit कमा रही है short run में या loss कमा रही है in the short run, as you see in this particular slide, ultimately in the long run this is going to happen. मैं आपको final पहले picture दिखा रही हूँ, बीच में जो चीजें जो slides मैंने skip की हैं वो मैं बाद में explain करूँगी. This is the final picture that you're going to see in the long run. So this is a monopolistically competitive firm in the long run. यहाँ हो क्या रहा है कि अगर फर्म प्रॉफिट कमा रही है तो मैंने कहा था नई फर्म्स एंटर होंगी, डिमांड कर्व अंदर की तरफ शिफ्ट होगा एंड द डिमांड कर्व इज गोइंग टू बिकम मोर इलास्टिक until the profit is driven down to zero. Profit हमेशा zero उस पॉइंट पे होगा where price is equal to its average total cost. आप देख सकते हैं कि मैंने ये कर्व ऐसे बनाए हैं where at this point you can see that MR cuts the MC. So this is going to be the profit maximizing output level, and you can work out that at this profit maximizing output level, इत्तेफाक ऐसा है कि price is equal to its average total cost. So अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि total revenue निकालें, this is going to equal price times जो आपने अभी एक profit maximizing quantity identify की है, which is this entire rectangular region. Total cost अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि identify करें, it's going to be the average total cost at this point times Q. यानी ये जो Q max आपने identify किया है, इस पे average total cost इत्तेफाक से it's the same as the price. So total cost का भी box जो है ना वो यही rectangular region बनेगा. So since the total revenue is equal to is the total cost, here the firm is making zero economic profit. अगर फर्म लॉस कमा रही है, मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था उस केस में डिमांड कर्व अंदर की तरफ शिफ्ट होगा एंड इट्स गोइंग टू बिकम मोर इलास्टिक until the profits are driven down to zero. So zero profit की खाली यही कंडीशन बन सकती है where at Q max your price is equal to its average total cost. Okay. So let me just go back to the slides that I've skipped. Okay. So look, long run equilibrium में क्या होगा? Now these are important points. Firms will enter and exit until firms are making exactly zero economic profits. So they're going to produce where MR equals MC and with average total cost becoming tangent to the demand curve. Okay. So जो अभी मैंने आपको सिनेरियो दिखाया, आप देख सकते हैं कि if the firm is making profit or loss in the short run, what will happen in the long run is, अगर profit का scenario आप जहन में लेके आए, तो the demand curve is going to shift inwards and it's going to become more elastic, and the process continues until the demand curve becomes tangent to the average total cost. आप देख सकते हैं इस point पे जो है ना MR equals the MC as well, or price जो है ना is equal to its average total cost. Therefore, the firm must be making zero economic profits here. Okay? So ये दो conditions आपको याद रखनी है कि firms will enter and exit the market until the profits are driven down to zero. यानी in the long run, firm will be producing where MR equals MC, and at that profit maximizing output level, your average total cost must be tangent to the demand curve. सो वही चीज़ मैं दोबारा आपको जो है ना इस स्लाइड में एक्सप्लेन करना चाह रही हूँ कि देखिए दोनों सिनेरियोज मैंने साइमल्टेनियसली आपके सामने प्रेजेंट किए हैं. इन पैनल ए यू कैन सी दैट द फर्म इज मेकिंग पॉजिटिव इकोनॉमिक प्रॉफिट. इन पैनल बी यू कैन सी द फर्म इज मेकिंग अ लॉस. और यहाँ मैंने नंबर्स भी ऐड कर दिए हैं कि अगर मैं आपसे ये क्वेश्चन दूँ और आपसे कहूँ कि कैलकुलेट द प्रॉफिट or the loss, you should be able to do it. So in the first scenario, you can see that MR cuts the MC at this point here. So this is Qmax is going to be $2,000, and at $2,000 you can read from the demand curve कि जो price ये firm charge करेगी ना, that is going to be $6. So total revenue will equal 6 multiplied by 2,000, and at 2,000 the average total cost is equal to is $5. So the total cost will equal 5 times 2,000. So ये जो area है, जो shaded area आपको नजर आ रहा है, this is the profit that the firm is going to make. Similarly, अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि loss निकालें, तो लॉस आप ये कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. आप देख सकते हैं इस केस में प्राइस कम है, एवरेज टोटल कॉस्ट ज्यादा है. सो दिस रेड रीजन इज एक्चुअली द लॉस दैट द फर्म इज गोइंग टू मेक. अच्छा, ये जो डायग्राम है ना, ये बहुत से आपको लाइनें नजर आ रही हैं, लेकिन उनसे कंफ्यूज ना हो. लेट्स सपोज ये जो रेड लाइन है, दिस इज द ओरिजिनल डिमांड कर्व, दिस इज द ओरिजिनल एमआर कर्व, this is the MC curve, and this is the average total cost curve. Now the firm is going to operate, given this initial scenario, the firm मुझे पता है is going to produce where MR cuts the MC. देखें, MR cuts the MC at this point, right? So this is going to be the profit maximizing output level. So in order to identify the profit maximizing price, I'm going to extend this line up here to the demand curve, और मैं प्राइस जो है इधर से रीड कर लूंगी. ठीक है, सो आप बड़ा क्लियरली देख सकते हैं कि इस सिनेरियो में द फर्म इज एक्चुअली मेकिंग अ प्रॉफिट व्हिच इज इक्वल टू इज, इफ आई कैन जस्ट पॉइंट दिस आउट फॉर यू पीपल, थोड़ा सा ये नीचे होगा. या यू कैन सी दैट एट this output level, the average total cost, अब अपने average total cost curve से read करें. So ये जो rectangular region बनता है ना, this is the profit that the firm is going to earn in the short run. लेकिन ये profit sustainable नहीं है short run में, because this is going to encourage new firms to enter. So when new firms will enter, ये existing firms का demand curve अंदर की तरफ shift होगा. और जाहिर सी बात है, जब डिमांड कर्व अंदर की तरफ शिफ्ट होगा तो उसका जो कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग एमआर है दैट इज आल्सो गोइंग टू शिफ्ट इनवर्ड्स. सो लेट मी जस्ट, ये जो एक्स्ट्रा लाइन अगर मैं डिलीट कर दूं, शायद आपको बेहतर समझ आ जाए कि क्या मैं कह रही हूँ. सो यू कैन सी दैट दिस फर्म, ये जो डिमांड कर्व है, ये रेड लाइन जो है ना, दिस वाज द ओरिजिनल डिमांड कर्व, एंड दिस रेड लाइन जो इसके नीचे है, दैट्स द ओरिजिनल एमआर कर्व. सो इन दिस केस द फर्म, अभी मैंने दिखाया आपको कि फर्म इज मेकिंग पॉजिटिव इकोनॉमिक प्रॉफिट्स. दिस विल इंकरेज न्यू फर्म्स टू एंटर, जिसकी वजह से ये जो डिमांड कर्व है अंदर की तरफ शिफ्ट होगा. और आप एक और चीज विजुअलाइज करें जो कि यहाँ शो नहीं की गई, कि डिमांड कर्व इज गोइंग टू बिकम मोर इलास्टिक. ठीक है, जरा फ्लैटर बन जाएगा. द प्रोसेस कंटिन्यूज until the demand curve becomes tangent to the so the process is going to continue until the demand curve becomes tangent to the average total cost. आप देख सकते हैं कि if this is the new demand curve and this is the MR curve, so the firm is now going to produce where MR cuts the MC, so it's now going to produce at this point. और आप देख सकते हैं इस output level पे price is equal to is the average total cost. ठीक है, यहाँ price is equal to is average total cost, that is the firm is making here zero economic profits. ठीक है, सो सिनेरियो कुछ भी हो, अगर फर्म शॉर्ट टर्म में प्रॉफिट कमा रही है या शॉर्ट टर्म में लॉस कमा रही है, लॉन्ग रन सिनेरियो ये बनेगा. ठीक है, इस केस में आप देख सकते हैं इसको मैं लॉन्ग रन इसलिए कह रही हूँ बिकॉज नाउ ईच फर्म इज मेकिंग जीरो इकोनॉमिक प्रॉफिट. देयर इज नो इंसेंटिव फॉर न्यू फर्म्स टू एंटर एंड देयर इज नो इंसेंटिव फॉर एग्जिस्टिंग फर्म्स टू एग्जिट द मार्केट. Okay, so long run में एक monopolistically competitive firm like a perfectly competitive firm will make zero economic profits. ठीक है, so I'll stop part 2 at this point then.